Summary of Fortitude: American Resilience in the Era of Outrage by Dan Crenshaw. Dan Crenshaw's Fortitude: American Resilience in the Era of Outrage is a call to action for individuals to cultivate mental toughness and personal responsibility. Through a blend of autobiography, philosophical reflection, and social commentary, Crenshaw aims to offer readers a blueprint for navigating modern cultural and political turbulence. Drawing on his experience as a Navy SEAL, a congressman, and a public figure often at the center of social media controversy, Crenshaw's core message is simple but powerful: resilience and fortitude are essential to living a meaningful, impactful life. The culture of outrage. Crenshaw begins by critiquing the contemporary culture of outrage, which he argues has led to the erosion of meaningful discourse and the rise of victimhood culture. He asserts that outrage has become a default social currency, with people competing for moral superiority through public shaming and blame. Social media amplifies this phenomenon, incentivizing people to react emotionally rather than rationally. According to Crenshaw, this culture fosters division and discourages critical thinking. Outrage becomes a tool for control, often used to silence opposing views. To counter this, he argues for mental toughness as an antidote to fragility, encouraging people to reject the impulse to feel offended and instead embrace resilience in the face of adversity. The importance of personal responsibility. A central theme in Fortitude is personal responsibility. Crenshaw contends that blaming others for one's problems is a path to powerlessness. By taking responsibility for their own lives, people can regain control and develop a sense of purpose. This theme is interwoven with anecdotes from his SEAL training, which emphasize the power of discipline, endurance, and self-reliance. One of his key arguments is that hardship should not be seen as something to be avoided but as a necessary component of growth and self-improvement. Crenshaw's reflections on responsibility extend to leadership. He argues that effective leaders do not blame others when things go wrong. Instead, they take ownership of problems and seek solutions. By embracing a no excuses mindset, individuals can become better leaders in their personal and professional lives. The role of adversity and grit. Crenshaw's experience as a Navy SEAL serves as a recurring motif throughout the book, reinforcing his argument that adversity is a crucial part of life's journey. He recounts the grueling experiences of SEAL training, known as BUD/S, Basic Underwater Demolition SEAL, as well as his own personal journey of recovery after losing his right eye to an IED explosion in Afghanistan. These stories illustrate the concept of embracing the suck, a SEAL mantra that encourages perseverance through hardship. Rather than viewing adversity as an obstacle to be avoided, Crenshaw frames it as a test of character. He argues that enduring difficulty strengthens mental fortitude, which can then be applied to future challenges. He also highlights the importance of small wins, incremental victories that build confidence and momentum toward larger goals. Victimhood versus heroism. One of Crenshaw's most pointed critiques is directed at the victimhood mentality he sees as pervasive in modern culture. He argues that seeing oneself as a victim is disempowering, as it cedes control over one's life to external forces. In contrast, he promotes the hero's mindset, which involves seeing oneself as an active participant in life's challenges rather than a passive victim of them. Crenshaw frames heroism not as something reserved for soldiers or public figures but as a mindset available to anyone. The hero's mindset requires courage, selflessness, and a willingness to act in the face of fear. He emphasizes that ordinary people can become heroes in their own lives by taking responsibility, embracing adversity, and choosing growth over victimhood. The need for intellectual humility and critical thinking. Another key concept in Fortitude is intellectual humility, the ability to recognize the limits of one's knowledge and remain open to new perspectives. Crenshaw argues that intellectual humility is essential for civil discourse, especially in the politically charged environment of social media. He criticizes the trend of cancel culture as antithetical to this principle, as it prioritizes moral purity and ideological conformity over thoughtful debate. To foster critical thinking, Crenshaw encourages readers to engage with opposing viewpoints and question their own assumptions. He highlights the importance of seeking truth rather than ideological validation. By cultivating intellectual humility, individuals can engage in more productive conversations and reduce the influence of outrage culture. Lessons from the SEAL Ethos. The SEAL Ethos, a set of guiding principles for Navy SEALs, serves as a foundation for many of the lessons in Fortitude. This ethos emphasizes courage, humility, perseverance, and the importance of the team. Crenshaw draws from this ethos to illustrate how its principles can be applied to everyday life. One of the key lessons is never quit, a central tenet of SEAL training. Crenshaw describes how this principle shaped his own journey after being injured in combat. Facing the possibility of permanent blindness, he chose to persevere, ultimately returning to active duty. The never quit attitude, he argues, is applicable beyond the military, as it can inspire people to overcome personal setbacks, health challenges, and career obstacles. Practical strategies for building fortitude. Crenshaw's advice is not purely philosophical, it is also practical. He offers concrete strategies for developing mental toughness. These include reframing adversity, viewing challenges as opportunities for growth rather than threats to one's well-being. Practicing gratitude, focusing on the positive aspects of life, even amid hardship. Developing discipline, building daily habits that foster resilience and self-control. Setting goals, establishing clear, achievable objectives that create a sense of purpose and direction. Each of these strategies is illustrated with personal stories from Crenshaw's life, as well as examples from history, sports, and business. He highlights how ordinary people can cultivate mental toughness through small, consistent actions rather than dramatic transformations. Final reflections and call to action. In the final chapters of Fortitude, Crenshaw returns to his central call for resilience in the face of outrage culture. He challenges readers to reject the easy path of blame, victimhood, and emotional reactivity. Instead, he calls on them to cultivate mental discipline, embrace personal responsibility, and seek out difficult but meaningful challenges. The ultimate goal, according to Crenshaw, is to become a person of fortitude, someone who can withstand the storms of life with grace, courage, and clarity of purpose. This, he argues, is not only beneficial for the individual but also essential for society as a whole. If more people adopted this mindset, he believes, society would become less divided, more thoughtful, and better equipped to handle the complexities of modern life. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like. Be sure to subscribe for more leadership-based content in less than 10 minutes. Crenshaw, Dan. Fortitude. American Resilience in the Era of Outrage. 2020.